Now, if you think of great things or great people you've met or want to aspire to, I'm sure there's a long list. And maybe people aspire, I want to even have a job, I'll have a great job at that, make a little bit of money, maybe be a great athlete, great political figure, be a great religious figure. Now, if you were to say someone asked you, what did you do tonight? You said, I went to church and watched people having their feet washed or having my feet washed to commemorate Jesus' Last Supper. You may think that's bizarre. That's not a great thing to do, because you think about all the other great things that people would rather do than to encounter what we were encountering today. In our second reading from Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, he says the words from Jesus, do this in remembrance of me. Now the word, when you think about remembrance, it just comes to our mind, okay, watch something on TV, or remembrance, say, one day. But it's a more profound word in Greek. The Greek word is anamnesis, which goes back to even the Hebrew tradition of the Jews, is the idea of making present something that happened in the past. So it's not just a commemoration or remembering, but it's actually participating in an event that happened in the past and making it present today. I think this day is a great day because it's a reminder of the call to service. Now, if you remember in our Passion reading on Sunday, we read from Luke's Gospel. And after Jesus institutes the Eucharist, he will say to his disciples that one of you will betray me. Now, do you remember the response of the apostles after? Well, of course, they started accusing one another, but then St. Luke writes that they were fighting amongst themselves, but who was the greatest among them? And Jesus says, whoa. Kings and those in authority lord it over them, or you are lorded over by them, but it must not be so among you. For he says that the youngest, that the greatest among you must be like the youngest. So it's flipping in terms of what's great in our world and what most people aspire to, and the Christian notion of greatness. And here Jesus exemplifies that in the washing of the feet. Now, especially in the time of Jesus, to wash someone's feet was only what slaves did, because, obviously now we wear socks and shoes and all that, but to have the dusty, calloused feet. And it was also a call for the slave to welcome a guest into his home. And so here Jesus is taking the form of a slave and welcoming us into a profound new home that he wants to inaugurate, which we'll celebrate tomorrow. And so he teaches us about the call to greatness. And greatness is doing something like washing the feet. And I think this idea of doing something that's very menial, I think is a nice reminder for us, is that we're celebrating this year of mercy, in which Pope Francis wants the whole church, so each individual Christian, to rediscover and make fruitful mercy in their lives, and then to share it with others, to be a consolation to them. And of course, we cannot give what we don't have. And so for Pope Francis, it's this call to re-encounter mercy in our own lives. And even the timeliness of this year of mercy is that Pope Francis inaugurated to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the conclusion of the Second Vatican Council, which was a profound event of all the bishops of the world, looking at the church from within and looking at the church from without, and how to bring the good news of our encounter, the church's encounter of Jesus, to the world. It's saying we have to make the content of the faith, which is unchangeable, into the changeable contexts of our modern age. Now, one of the writings of the Vatican Council was a document called Gaudium et Spes, Hope and Joy, which was the last one that the 2,000 some odd bishops declared, okay, this is going to be our final document, and the most profound, because it's the church saying to the modern world, hey, we have a message of hope and joy for you. And so two elements that really stand out in this, which really served Pope John Paul II throughout his pontificate, is one is that the Council Fathers said that the mystery of the human being is only revealed in the person of Jesus. So we only find ourselves in the very person of Jesus. And what does that mean? And then even the Council Fathers will also say that only one can only find oneself in a sincere gift of self to others. So we only find ourselves modeling on Jesus, who himself came to serve. He's the ultimate model of this call to service. And so for Pope Francis, I think we're calling to each one of us, hey, we're destined for greatness because we're modeling our lives on Jesus. That's why we're called Christians. And for to be Christians, we must encounter his mercy and then turn to share the mercy to those who need to encounter God's mercy. And I think if we do so, we truly find ourselves and we deepen our intimacy with the Lord. The only way that we truly enter into who we are, to know that, and to find ourselves in greatness. And so if people ask you, hey, what'd you do tonight? I learned how to be great. As the Lord gives us his food to nourish us, and the ultimate model to serve and not to be served. So let's emulate this call to service and to share God's mercies we've encountered tonight with those who need to encounter.